Okay.
I wanted to thank you for taking time to speak with me today.
So it's a favor, man. Good.
How was the recording process for you this time around?
How the recording process was going on?
Yes.
Yes.
How's
Yeah. We started. Let me think about. There is this 2 years Corona intermezzo. We started. We started. I think 4 years ago with the idea, and yeah, then we have our own studio. That's a good story about this. We record everything in our own studio. So I have my drum set and all the stuff we need. And yeah, and then we were close to finish the entire recordings. And then this damn pandemic idea came along. So of course we had to stop all this. And yeah, then we did some different stuff. And now I think half year ago started again. And yeah, finally we did it.
and I wanted to say that Viking Gar is my favorite track on the album. And I
Vikinger. All right.
yes. And I wanted to know if you had a favorite track and why is it your favorite track?
Oh, this is this damn difficult story about the favorite song. Yeah. So of course, Vikinger is kind of my favorite because all the other tracks are old, kind of old Corvus Corax songs, and
Mm.
we did this cover idea. I thought, I really thought it's a wonderful idea to cover ourselves. Usually you cover other bands, but we had the idea to do it and then listening to our own tracks in a totally different sound, you know. But Vikinger was the first and only song on this CD, which is written totally new. So this is really only written or recorded for this new album. For this reason, it's kind of my favorite. But what I really love, Beowulf is my name because it's really fun to play the drums for this.
And the mix on the album is amazing. How hard was that process for you?
Yes, you know, I'm not only the drummer of the band and the co-writer. I'm kind of the co-producer as well. And at our studio, I am pre-mixing everything. Um, to be honest, I don't like this part of the job so much. I prefer just to be a musician, but with our weird instruments, I realize it's a very good idea to give the guy who is finally mixing everything an idea what is our aim, you know, because the mix is difficult. And then um, we went to the South Lodge studio in Germany. The guy, Jörg Buchen, it's really amazing, a really amazing guy. And I was sitting there then with him together and did the final mix. And he has told you a lot of stuff, a lot of underground stuff. Every 2 years, he has Anvil in his own studio. This old metal heroes, you know.
Hmm.
And so he is really he know how to make metal stuff.
And I wanted to ask you, one, will you tour? And two, how hard is it to put your visual presentation together live?
The visual presentation for the show. Um, cause you know what, with our original band Corvus Corax, we are extremely into visual thing. So
Mhm.
it's half of the show. Of course, we have to play well, and we have to make a very energetic show. This is our basic idea. But the costumes are very important for us. And a friend of us is helping us a lot. So half of the cost is we producing ourselves. So a lot of stuff handmade,
Hmm.
and but all the fabric stuff is helping us, and yeah, so it's more a little bit more dark than the Corvus Corax idea, the original one, but it's we had already one show and it's great.
Excellent. And also wanted to talk to you about the album artwork, because the album artwork is absolutely amazing. I wanted to know if you could speak on the artwork itself and the artist that was involved.
Yes, of course. You know, the entire production is kind of a family thing. Um, all the people we work together and we're still working together are friends really since maybe 20 or 30 years. And the guy who was doing the artwork, Andreas Marshall, he's very famous in the metal scene because he's doing all the creator artwork. I think Blind Guardian as well, and so all this German metal stuff really since the end of the 80s. I was playing in a metal band in the 90s as well. The name was a Depressive Age. And he did one cover artwork for my former band as well. So we have a very long connection, and he's a good friend. We asked him, and he was, of course, he was listening to our first recordings, and he was totally amazed, and so that I really, really want to do this. Yeah, and then we sat together and made a little bit brainstorming, and you know the Viking idea with our medieval background in the combination with metal music. We had this idea that it's kind of archaic, but on the other hand, it's something modern in it. So there is a snake, this robot snake, and all that stuff in it. So it's we love this. It's so a little bit hidden Mad Max stuff, or maybe more Terminator. The Viking Terminators. Yeah, I really love the artwork. I'm totally happy about this.
And we talked on a little bit. You had mentioned the time you've been in the business. What would you say would be the, if you were talking to an up and coming artist, what would you say is the key to longevity in the business?
Yeah, okay. Okay, let me think about this. So, some points. First, do what you want. And second, keep on doing what you want. Yes. There will be a lot of people showing up and telling you, you know what, I really believe in you and I really can help you to make you famous. But then there's this big but. You have to change here, you have to change there. And you know that from a lot of other bands where producers, record labels, managements are starting to tell the band how they should change to be more famous.
Sure.
I don't like this idea so much. And really stay to yourself. Focus on what you really love. Listen to your heart when you're doing music. And the other reason that bands split very often is there. It is like usually when you are married, you have two persons, and it's all we all know that it's hard to bring two persons for a long time together. Yeah. So,
Sure.
but in a band, you have three or four, or our case, I think no, eight people. They're kind of married, so there's a lot of trouble, and don't take all the trouble too serious because there will be trouble, and you all can go over the trouble. Just don't get crazy. So, and then you can make music for a long time together, and you play together uh, not only for 2 or 3 years, but maybe for 10 or 20 years. Kind of a good base to keep on doing all the stuff and not run over by the system. No.
And the band conceptually, how did the idea come about for the conception of the band?
So the idea why we started the metal thing, or the
Yes.
yes, yeah. So yes, so I'm a metalhead since I was young, and so it is kind of my soul. It is in my bloodstream. Even when I'm doing medieval music since a long time, but my heart is still beating very fast. And yeah, and then we started. When we started 2010, we started with Corvus Corax to focus more on the Viking and Celtic historic music. And when we started to think about this culture from the past, it was different to the Middle European and South European music, as the culture was different. And when we started to write music, so for the first recording, Zwerker, um, it, it had a different attitude. And when I was um, writing the drum score and everything, even then, 12 years ago, I had a weird feeling of metal, even when we didn't make metal. So, and, yeah, and, and especially Castus, my partner, the partner in crime in the band, we are doing all that stuff more or less together. Yeah, the same feeling. And we were really thinking from the beginning from the Zwerker CD, it could, it would be nice to have it in a metal version. But then the years were running, and we did this and that, and then 4 years ago we started to think again about this idea, and then we thought, just let do it, just start it. And of course, a lot of people told us now they're finally crazy because you're not a metal band, and your fans will not like it, and the metal fans will not eat it because you are not metalheads. And we thought, so doesn't matter. We do what we want. Yeah. So yeah, and then I was thinking about, because most of the stuff we can do ourselves, but we don't have a real guitarist in our band. And then I remember the other very good friend from the late 80s, beginning 90s, is Sami Ilisirniu. Crazy name, Sami Ilisirniu. And he is, since a long time, the guitarist of Creator. That's
Oh,
really,
okay.
yes. So, and I gave him a call and I told him what is our idea. And couple of weeks later, he came over from Helsinki to Berlin, was in our studio. We already started because he was really happy about my idea. It was really great to work with him together.
And I also wanted to ask you, as a drummer, um, if you could give me, who would be your top three drummers of all time?
The top three drummers of all time. The thing is, I really, really not good in names, sir. But there's this one musician. I know the name because I was totally flashed when I listened to him first time. This is Dave Lombardo, of course.
Hmm.
He is the king for me. He is he was a king. He is a king. He will always be the king. Dave Lombardo, his kind of drumming was so amazing because he was a metal drummer, a Slayer, but of course he can do a lot of other stuff. He can jazz when you want as well. But his idea to take the idea of metal drumming and pressing in the hardcore punk idea, this crossover, This was really impact for me, and I have my own style, I think. But if anyone will tell me, you know what, sometimes did you listen to Dave Lombardo? Then I would be really happy because he is the one and only influence ever for me. Yes. To other drummers, that's very difficult to say. So I will not tell. Yeah, yeah.
And I also want to ask you, throughout your career, if you could pick your proudest moment as an artist, what would you say that would be?
Um, the proudest part as a musician in my career. Oh, wow. Okay, so the first time I was playing in Wacken, this big metal festival, it was I was kind of proud about this. Um, when I heard with my old band Depressive Age that we were in the high school in the USA high school charts, I was very proud about this as well. It was really amazing for me a long time ago. And the other thing is, this is not a special moment, but we playing kind of everywhere on this planet. And even when I can't understand only one word when I'm in Lithuania or in Mexico, or I was in China, and um, but and it doesn't matter what kind of system you have there, the politic idea. When you only have the people, and you are on stage, the people are in front of stage. That everywhere when we are playing, this magic is already there, and that this the energy from us, from the stage to the audience giving the energy back, this rebound thing. This is making me extremely proud. This is really this is working everywhere on the planet.
And the Walking Festival is a huge festival. When you're in front of a crowd of that size, how hard is it to maintain your adrenaline being behind the kit and keep that pace?
Yeah, yeah, man. You know what? The problem is with really, really big shows. Um, you can't jump into the audience because it's too far away from the stage, because there are always there's the safety space, and so in a club I can, when I have too much energy, I can jump into the audience. But the really, when there are 100,000 people, um, uh, it's difficult to get in contact. But what I'm doing is after the concert, I always going into the crowd after the
Mhm.
show. I take a breath for maybe 3, 4, or 5 minutes, then I go to the audience, because then I see the faces, then I can feel the energy, and I really love this.
And I also want to ask you, along your journey, has there been any good advice tips that have been given to you by other artists that you use to this day?
Um, Advices to artists. Okay, there are some advices. I think wherever you go, do it with respect. It doesn't matter if you are known, well known, totally unknown, if you are a superhero or whatever. Um, when you're playing a show, this show is only happening because there are all these crew people, the people in the back, building up the stage, building up the sound and light technique, um, do all the cable stuff, and without all these people, the show is nothing.
Right.
So when you come to a place, if it's a very small club for 50 people, or is this a big festival for 100,000 people? It totally doesn't matter. When you enter the place, be nice to the people there, because then they will be nice to you. You can be a, you can be a big asshole. Maybe it's still a good show, but the people will remember. Next time, the support will not best. You know, they will giving you always a good support because they are professionals. But the really final good support when they're doing stuff you're not asking for, just to help you. When you treat them with respect, you will get back the respect.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to ask you, what's the best way to get merchandise from the band?
Yeah, so right now it's we have a shop on our website. So when you go to Corvus Corax, you will find us, and of course you can order even when you're living in the States or wherever, you can order and we will ship it. Um, we are working on the idea to maybe have someone who is doing it in the States, that we don't have the shipping costs all the time. But right now, it's a thing that you have to order it in Germany. But these days, with this digital idea, you can pay with not. There are so many companies, you just can pay with it, and the shipping costs are not so horrible anymore. So
Yeah,
just
as a matter of fact, I have an album coming from Belgium, and the shipping is more than the album itself.
yeah, so yeah, I know it's still hard, but yeah. So, but we are an independent label. We're doing our stuff ourselves. That's giving us a lot of freedom. But the bad side is we don't have a worldwide support. So there's not we are not connected to Universal or so or Warner. And when we're bringing something out, you can buy it everywhere. Um, but maybe so we played a couple of weeks, second time in the States, and so for the next 3 years we have a visa, really a working permission. That's excellent. So we will come back during the next 3 years very often, I'm sure. And this is a
Great.
good reason to have merchandise over there as well.
I look forward to it. And I wanted to ask you also, what can fans look for next? Will there be an upcoming video?
Yeah, you know what? Viking guy.
Really?
We are working on it. There will be a well-produced video. So the last videos were only this you listen, you have not really video, you can reading the lyrics and so, but Viking is the next one. We definitely want to make a real one. We already produced a really special video for Beowulf Minama.
Mhm.
So this produced ourselves. This is a totally handmade video in a very, very old-fashioned way. You will understand when you see it first time. Um, we will release this, I think, the next week.
Great.
Yes.
And lastly, I wanted to ask you if you could give a message to your fans, what would that message be?
A message to rich bands, to all the bands on this earth,
To all your fans,
to all
what
your
message would
fans. All
you
right.
give to your fans?
The message to all our fans. So let me think about. There is my message. Bad mood is wasting lifetime.
It
This
is.
is this is my message. Yeah. So we hope we can see you very soon, all you guys, and we can't wait to play the first show with Era Metallum over there.
Well, I wanted to thank you so much for taking time to speak with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rob. Thank you so much, Bob. Excellent.
What time is it over there?
It's 10:30 in the night.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I
it's
hope you have a great rest of your evening.
yeah. And have a nice day, man.
All right, you two take
Hey,
care.
keep
Cheers.
you doing. Take care. Bye.